Michael, that must be a mightily frustrating one to take this evening.
Yeah, disappointing. I thought we had control of the game. Obviously, 1-0 up at half time, and opportunities to add to that with the penalty, and we had one or two other opportunities, and ultimately disappointing because we lose the game off two set pieces, and we just couldn't deal with, I suppose, their physicality in the end, and they put a lot of balls in the box, which we would defend it great up to the end, but with every substitution, they seem to add more physical presence into their team, and ultimately that just overpowered us in the end.
I suppose after you miss a penalty, it shows how quickly a game can change.
It does, yeah, and they took heart from that. You could see that, and we maybe lost a little heart, which is, we shouldn't have done, but they gave us everything. Like, we can't really ask. They give us everything. Every 3 days, what the players are given is incredible. Really, what they're being asked to do. You see that obviously with, again, we lose Tyrese with an injury tonight. Jacob Brown has to come off with an injury tonight, and we had 10 players missing that could have played in tonight's game. So it's an awful lot to deal with. So we can't ask what the players gave us. We can't ask any more. And we just unfortunately have to live with the result, which is disappointing.
As the game goes on and with the injuries that you have, does that slowly catch up on you in the end, maybe tonight?
Yeah, it does. We end up with a very sort of makeshift team on the pitch at the end of the game, and we went back to a 3 to try and at 1-1 because we were, obviously they had the dominance at that point in time, and we felt we would need that physicality and we would need that height in our team to defend the ball set pieces, and ultimately they scored off the corner, so it's disappointing from that aspect. But it was a game, very difficult conditions for the players, both teams, and a midweek game like that off the back of the games that we've had today, it was always going to be a tough ask.
Tyrese Campbell had to come off in the second half due to injury. What's the situation with him at the moment?
Too early to say. I think his knee, he felt his knee, so look, we'll be able to assess that more in the morning. But as I say, touch wood, it's not too serious.
And Jacob Brown, or was that more a precaution heading into Saturday's game?
No, Jacob collided with the advertising hoardings, similar to Stephen Fletcher actually, at Norwich. So and felt his shoulder a bit, and I think he'd run his race, to be honest. He'd given us so much on Saturday, and he gave us so much tonight that we have to try and inject a little bit of freshness into the team, and we tried to do that obviously with the substitutions that we made.
I think James McLean picked up his 5th yellow card tonight, which will mean he probably missed the game against Derby County. How big a loss will that be?
Big loss, stupid booking. James is gets frustrated, and unfortunately, we saw that in his reaction to tackle. It was a yellow card, so yeah, we'll deal with that in the morning. On
the injury front, would you hope to have some of the players back for that game?
Well, we're hopeful, without being definitive on Fletcher and Jordan Thompson. It might be too soon for John Obi at this minute in time, but we don't anticipate any of the others being fit at this minute in time.
How important though is it not to allow this game to fester and to hopefully bounce back on Saturday against Derby?
Yeah, it's very important. It's difficult when you lose a game, in the Championship, particularly at home, and when you feel a game that you had in your grasp to win it. It's difficult, but that's the nature of it. We're still a team which is very much work in progress. We're going to have setbacks, but thankfully this season where we've been good is when we've lost a game, we've had a good reaction. And as I say, I'm not disappointed with what we got tonight in terms of effort and the conditions, and where we are at this minute with the injury situation. But again, we'll be stretched to the limit on Saturday, and we just got to go and try and get 3 points.